Alright, so today, the driver of this truck, he just got back in. Said his AC control switch was giving him a hard time. Kind of wanted to just go through this all at once, but again, this is a 2015 Volvo Vnl. Pretty common once these trucks get a little age on them for these switches to start going out. Hold on. Sometimes you get lucky and the switch isn't bad, it just needs to be replaced. But I'm gonna go through the process of how to take it off. Well, actually, start it up first, see if it's actually doing anything. I think he's talking about this one right here, which I don't know if you can see that or not, but it seems to be working for me. So I'm gonna get it started up. I'm gonna pause this while that air builds up. I know nobody wants to hear that. Okay, so the driver, according to the driver, like I said, I get all this information. I do all the contracting work for him, so I only get told bits and pieces. And anybody else that's ever repaired any of these trucks or maintained fleets or anything like that will tell you that I'm not in any way knocking the drivers. It's really, I mean, I do believe, I have a CDL myself. I believe all drivers should have somewhat of a basic understanding of these trucks. But then times you'll run into when drivers will tell you that one thing's wrong with them, and it is absolutely not. So here he's saying that he said that this button right here was what was sticking. Okay, you hear that delay in the blower motor? Okay, so it's taking it a minute to even catch up. Now, obviously, just a quick little way to check to see if it's actually doing anything is right here is where the blower motor is. But if you'll just tap that and then come back over here, if it's jammed up or those connections have became loose, see, like now, I don't know if you can hear it. There it goes. So it took it a second for it to kick on. So that's what's sticking, is the actual blower motor. So I have the switch. I walked through the process of changing out the switch, but we're also going to check the connectors over here on the actual blower motor too. Okay, give me just a minute. What I'm going to do now is go through the actual process of removing all this stuff. This is nothing too crazy. Do want to be careful though, because there's some clips in here that you can break. Not really sure what we got going on there, but anyway, you want to be careful because there are some clips, because you have to remove this panel molding here and here. And I think to remove this switch, you actually have to remove this and this, but we'll be able to see here in a minute. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and take that off.
I had to raise the sea log up over here. I think what we're going to have to do, just to make it super easy. Like I said, it's been a while since I've removed one of these, but I'm going to remove this, and then this will pop up right here. And remove this piece. This will have to come off because this is back behind here. I don't want to break this. If you try to pry it off, it may come out. But there's a little notch right there that's going to pop that off too. And to get this off, there's another video I've got. I've replaced some pieces. There's these two little Allen. Well, you probably use flathead. Here and here. That need to be removed. Okay. Now you got that removed. here, these are going to have to come out to access the side here. But this is only held on with that one right there. Probably have to remove this, well, just this cover, which will slide that down. Remove these two right here, and we'll get access to that. Remove this one too. Maybe one on the bottom.
Alright, yeah, so I should have mentioned, I just kind of rushed it a little bit there, but this bottom trim piece too, it needs to come off, and then you can see there's actually 3 bolts. So there's 2 holding this actual unit in. And this is only held in, I think it's 1 connector back there, maybe 2, but I think it's just 1 connector. This, we'll undo these 2, pull it out. That'll give us access to this, and then I'll undo this as well to pull this panel.
You just set those aside because you do not want to lose them. Okay, this will pull out just enough for you there. This, I don't know if they broke the clip down here or if it's not clipped in. But look, all you gotta do, come in here at the bottom, kind of pry it off. And then lower this, and let you slide it out of the way.
So, I was wrong. There are 2 on there. So what you want is push those in. Sometimes these do become loose. Alright, so getting these pressed back in, just turn the switch, see if it'll kick that on. So the blower motor's not engaging. Well, what you'll do is come over here and, like I said, leave this on full. And then if your air is hung up, this is not working, this is not a permanent fix in any way, and it may not even work. But if you'll come down here, because the blower motor is actually located in this, and you'll just tap on it a little bit, and then reset the switch. If that doesn't work, before you take all this apart, which we'll go through here in just a second, you want to check on here in the fuse panel for what the actual fuse is. This will be F51 climate control AC blower. It's right there. The fuse is still good. So the blower motor itself is located in here. And it's probably going to be a little bit of glare because the sun is just beaming. There's not much I can do for that. The blower motor is located in here. You have to come down here at the bottom and pull this carpeting back. And there's going to be two or three bolts down here that you're going to have to remove. And I also found that it's easiest to remove this bottom one and flip this up, this little handle here. So we'll get started on that. Okay, so if you can see these underneath there, you got one here and one right there. I believe they're going to be tins, so we have to remove those. Not very tight. Okay, so you got those done. Then you're gonna remove this right here, which I think is probably a 12. It is. Let's do it for the bottom portion. And then I'm gonna remove that.
To remove everything, go ahead and pull this and leave the speaker cover. Actually, that's come out as well. Gotta remove these. I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out real fast.
Alright. Then once you get the speakers out, they're just quick disconnects like that. You got one more bolt down in there. This one little panel here. There. So I went ahead and removed that bar just because for some reason this flap was giving me hell on this one. Once I removed that, it allowed access to the actual blower motor panel, which is inside of here. This side. So here you have your actual blower motor. This is the motor itself. Alright, and this actuator on the back, if you'll watch it. That just goes to show that the motor itself isn't any good. Alright, so basically all you do is to unplug this, just right back here, this connector and this connector. Both of them you can access from the top. Pull this out, slide your new one back in, and you'll be good to go. Just gonna add real fast too, as far as taking it out. Fits right in there. You have this one connector that runs around back right there. Super easy to take out. Press that down, pull it out. Once you pull this out, this one here, it goes right there. All you do, pull back on right here, pull back on this clip, and it comes out. The blower motor is then free, and they're replacing it with the same steps. I'll put the new one in there when it gets back in. Alright, so finally got it, the new one back in, the blower motor. This is the old one. This is going to be the new one, and we'll be going through the process of putting it back in there. See if there's a part number on here, in case y'all need it. Focus 851-202-76. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and open this and get it ready. Take the new one out. Alright, and it already comes all set up, like I said, with the harnesses. Except for this one on the back, apparently. I'm going to have to switch that one off. So this sensor right here should set the pinch down here and here to get it through. Alright, so we got it plugged in. First thing I'm going to do, just turn the key, see if it's got any power. Alright, so it's back in. So now all we do is go back through, piece it all together, and it's done. Alright, everything's back together. It's working good. So that's how you troubleshoot, diagnose, and replace the blower motor in a Volvo Vnl.